Hey guys, welcome back. Orabomb here, bringing you another video. Today we're actually discussing all these crazy new cards that got announced today on Poke Beach. It got this. I think it got announced late on the 18th. This video is probably going up on the 19th. But I am live discussing this with a couple subscribers. There's a lot of cards we have to catch up on. I haven't talked about any of these cards in videos yet, so I decided to hop on Twitch, twitch.tv/ab.aurabomb, with some people that, you know, hook me up. Today we have Corey. Say hi, bro.
Yo.
And we got my boy Liquid.
What's up?
All right, so we're gonna be doing some live discussion. We're gonna have a couple people join midstream, but we're just gonna go ahead and get started talking this. We're gonna have MTO for sure. So first thing we're gonna discuss is we got new Trico, new Torchic, new Mudkip. Mudkip's kind of important because we are gonna talk about the Swampert here. But Mudkip with its 60 HP, so
it reminds me of that one, the Magnemite from ULP, the metal one.
Yeah, search your deck for 3 water energies. That's always just good because you can thin. We don't really have a better Mudkip, and you know I'm kind of annoyed that they haven't made 70 HP the norm yet. But you know it's fine.
Yeah, the other two are garbage. They don't have any competitive viability.
I mean, Torchic has 70 HP, and we're gonna talk about Blaziken later. So at least that's something. Having 70 HP is so much better. Especially since now they need Diancie and Beast Energy for Buzzwole to Oko you, since they're not going to have strong energy. Oh, by the way, we're going to be talking about post-rotation for the most part. We'll probably discuss other things if it becomes super powerful, but like for the most part, we'll be talking about post-rotation because SM7 comes out a week before Worlds, which is the last major tournament for that rotation.
Yeah.
So anyways, all right, so let's talk about Swampert. What do you guys think? First reactions.
Okay, for Swampert,
for those of you guys that don't know what Swampert does, it's 160 HP stage 2, 3 retreat, which is kind of heavy, which is fine, weak to grass, whatever. Has the ability Power Draw. It literally went to Zoroark and said, hold my beer. Once during your turn, you may discard a card from your hand, then draw 3 cards. And its Hydro Pump attack's not too bad. For 3 colors, you do 80 damage plus 20 more damage each water energy attached to this Pokemon. We've all seen this card. All right, let's hear opinions.
Okay, so first, the ability's pretty broken. Yeah?
Yeah, I think we can all agree.
It says it in the name. Now, it has 160 HP. I think one of the downsides, 3 retreat, no bueno, and we don't have float, so next rotation, so that could impact the viability.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
The attack's pretty decent. It's just a better Keldeo, in all honesty. You can take some good 2H KOs if it got 3 water on it. Not a whole lot else to say about the card.
I think it's nice that you can take 3 KOs without water energies. Hitting 110 is definitely not bad with a choice band.
You can take 2-hit KOs pretty easily with it. Either way, with a DC and stuff.
Yeah. So it doesn't automatically have to go into a water deck, which is nice. Of course, you are working with a stage 2, so I don't think this is much better than Zoroark. But yeah, it's definitely interesting in its own deck.
Like its ability, it kind of reminds me of like the old Fire Ninetales. I think it was from like HGSS or whatever, and like Zoroark combined in a way.
It's pretty strong. Also, we have that. It is worth mentioning. We have that. Isn't that a Croconaut? Never mind. I'm thinking about other cards. Anyways, what do you think, Corey?
I like the idea. I like the fact that with the combination of the two, my initial thought was to do something wacky with Archie's, but I'm like, I don't know how viable that is, if at all. But then I was thinking of something along the lines of more like either a Ninetales or Greninja run with it.
Sounds interesting.
But the thing is really, especially with any water deck, to have this card stuck in your active is not going to be the end of the world for you. I mean, even if you just have a DCE and the water energy on it, it's still doing 100 damage easy.
The nice thing about this one is it's a draw, so it actually makes water decks have some sort of draw mechanism in a way, so you can combine it with a lot more stuff than you would be able to normally.
That is true. Exactly. It does give like some much needed acceleration, as well as having like a stage, like just in general having a stage 2 attacker. I do kind of like the idea of pairing this with Lapras, once we lose Octillery.
Yeah. Especially since draw is going to be a lot more valuable post-rotation without Sycamore.
That way you have so much draw power if you play Swampert Lapras. You have collect, you have power draw.
You get like 14 cards on a turn.
Oh my god. And draw is so necessary in next rotation. We're losing so much. So it's going to be strong. If you guys don't know what next rotation is, it is Sun and Moon on, officially confirmed.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to talk about? Let me see the chat real quick, see if they have anything to say about Swampert.
In this batch of cards?
With losing Sigmar, and then it's going to be huge getting that draw support in there.
We're also losing Bridget and Skyla, too. Pretty big.
We got Order Pad, it's all good.
Yeah, we get Pokemon Fan Club, but still, that's...
all we need is Order Pad and Nest Balls. We're set. We're fine. We got this. Anyways, let's talk about Manectric. I know that a lot of people are excited about this card. I personally look at it and I'm just not impressed. But Manectric, 110 HP. Yeah, for sure. Let me go over the card though. 110 HP, weak to fighting. Always want to mention that. With the ability Volt Start. If you go second, you may play this card face down from your hand during setup. It's interesting because it's like Talonflame, but it doesn't have to be active. It can be anywhere on your board, so you could theoretically start the game with 4 Manectrics on your bench, as long as you're going second, which is weird. It does give we are finally getting cards that are actually worth going second. Like, we haven't actually had any cards that are worth going second. They're just kind of like, oh, well, going first is always better, but going second is now not as bad with these cards. Now it's like going second is a must when you play Manectric, if you plan on using its ability. And the attack is double charge, 40 damage, just like Talonflame did. You may attach 2 basic energies from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. All right, what do you guys think?
So I'll go first.
Go ahead.
The ability, since you have to go second, it's not the most spectacular. 110 HP, not a lot, really. And its attack, it doesn't search, but rather it just attaches from the hand. So I wouldn't say that's that great. It's weak to fighting, so it can basically be OHKO'd by a Buzzwole pretty easily. Has a 0 retreat, pretty lackluster.
Yeah. I'm not super impressed. I mean, like, it's annoying because we're losing Professor's Letter. I'd probably be a little bit happier if we weren't losing Professor's Letter.
Agreed.
But if our supporter is going to be Lady to accelerate with double charge, no, thank you. What do you think? What do you think?
That sounds awful.
I'm not playing no ladies in my deck. What do you think, Corey?
I think it'll be interesting to run this with the Pachirisu Raichu deck.
That is true.
As much as this card isn't great, I think that it would be really good start, especially.
Yeah. I think the issue with it though is that, like, with Talonflame decks, you're able to play it in decks that don't have many basics. When you're playing Raichu, you're probably playing quite a few basics. You already have to play your Pikachus, then you're probably not giving up on the Lele's, which is another thing with this deck. Like, Talonflame was good because you didn't have to play Lele's because you were searching with your attacks, similar to Sylveon. But Manectric doesn't search; it just accelerates energies. So maybe we'll get like a crazy deck that really appreciates accelerating energies. That's gonna play like a million energies. Like we have that. What's it called? Well, it doesn't even matter. No, never mind. There's no real attacker I can think of right now that appreciates Manectric. But it is worth mentioning that we do have Unit Energy. So obviously you have to play Lightning Energy to attack with Manectric, but with Unit Energy you have access to fighting decks. No, not fighting decks. Lightning. Is it with Metal?
I think it's with like Metal and Psychic, right? Okay.
So you have access to Metal and Psychic type decks you could also accelerate with, if you choose to go that route. So, I mean, with Energy Lotto, getting your special energies isn't as hard as it used to be, and Energy Lotto is proving to be a better card as time goes on, especially since we have less draw. So, Manectric could be useful for that, but we'll just have to see what happens in the end. Overall, I'm not optimistic, but it does have Free Retreat, and Free Retreat's always good.
Another thought about Swampert, Super Boost Energy.
Oh, you're right.
If you were playing like Swampert, Blastoise, and expanding, you know what I mean? Just like have two Swamperts of Blastoise, throw a super boost, you like hit for like 1,000,000, you know what I mean?
And we're getting that one card that searches prisms.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's definitely. Oh yeah, it's good. It's meta breaking.
It's okay. Let's calm down.
Meta breaking.
Dude, Blastoise, Swampert, let's do it.
Oh baby.
All right, let's talk about Bayonet. Now, I'm actually interested in Bayonet, especially since we have that new Bayonet. I believe that's in Champions Road. I
think so. Yeah. The Bayonet Gx.
Yeah.
Right?
So like, and this Bayonet's actually not super bad either. I'm gonna pull up the Bayonet Gx so I can talk about it after I talk about this Bayonet. But Bayonet here is a stage 1 psychic type with the ability Red Eyes. When you play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon, you may play a basic Pokemon from your opponent's discard pile to their bench. And then you have the attack enemy show, count the number of your opponent's Pokemon play, then put that many... Is it? Oh, never mind. This card got a lot worse to me. Put that many damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon any way you like. I thought it was count the number of Pokemon in play, not opponent's Pokemon. I was really excited about that, but never mind. But enemy shit, it's not bad. It's just not super great.
The SM7 Bayonet, I think it's pretty awful, honestly.
Yeah. With the Bayonet GX, is it Paradol? Shadowy move during your turn. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you move 1 damage counter from either player's Pokemon to another.
Kinda.
I mean, it's not super great. Yeah, it's not super great. It's just like a bunch. It's just more spread damage. I mean, there's no real point in doing spread damage attacks when we have Tapu Koko, so I don't know. But it does place damage counters, which can't be blocked by that new stadium and Mr. Mime or anything like that. So that's relatively interesting. But overall, I don't think it's that great of an attacker. You guys have anything to say about it?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah, same here.
I guess has a fighting resistance.
I guess. Weak to dark, though.
Yeah.
Which is proving to be less and less of a problem, but still.
Are we going to even bother with Delcatty?
I mean, Delcatty's kind of cool. First of all, I'm upset that we didn't get to see that Ninetales card, because I was really expecting to see that Ninetales card that they teased forever ago. But Delcatty's kind of cool. When you play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon during your turn, you may search your discard pile for 2 supporters, reveal them, and put them into your hand. I think that's pretty nice.
Delcatty is like new VS Seeker almost.
Yeah, it's in a deck that doesn't involve a lot of bench space. I don't see a reason why you don't throw this in, especially in this new format. Like, you have the space for it if you're not playing down too many Pokemon for a combo. And it's literally like, let me evolve my Delcatty to get another Cynthia and play my Cynthia, or let me evolve my Delcatty for Guzma for game, that kind of thing.
It doesn't seem awful, but I'm not the biggest fan.
I'm not like saying it's perfect, but I can definitely see some decks teching this in. I can honestly see some like Sylveon variants maybe playing a couple of Delcatty.
Ooh,
that could be interesting.
Oh, you're talking baby Sylveon?
I'm talking the Sylveon GX.
Interesting.
With enough disruption, the Delcatty is usually not, like, the Skitty is usually not in a threatening position. And then you can evolve Delcatty, get even more of your handiworks or your flare grunts and stuff like that. Without the need to pow pad and dig. And sometimes I just after playing some Sylveon recently, there has been some issues with like getting the exact supporter you need after they constantly end you over and over and over again. But in this new format, Judge, oh boy. I'm so excited for Pokemon again. Judge, yes. But Delcatty's not too bad. So, any thoughts? Any opinions?
Not really.
Oh man!
Like I said, I just see it.
All right, Acrobike, the big boy.
Yeah,
he's back.
I like it. Put it with Torkoal, you know what I mean?
Put it with Torkoal?
Or wait, Mac Cargo, I meant, yeah, that one. The one.
From Champion thing. Cargo? What does he do? I don't remember.
I think it's the one from Champions Road that puts a card on top of your deck.
Oh yeah, once during your turn, you may search your deck for a card, shuffle your deck, and place that card on top of your deck. Oh, that's really good. That's a good engine.
That's a good cheesy engine.
That is
Play
ridiculous.
order pad.
Dude, order pad. Anyways,
It's a card too that if the Swampert Blastoise ever becomes a thing, a lot of people or whoever runs it is going to run that card too.
I think we gotta talk about the elephant in the room. Just when we thought Buzzwole was gonna get a little bit weaker, Acrobike comes in, makes it land its B strings a lot easier, and here we go. Back to Bravos.
Run Volkner in that post-rotation buzz, my guy.
Straight up.
That's the real tech.
I can't stand
Volkner.
Oh boy, just run your order pads, bro. 4 order pads. It's like 8 B strings right there. Run your Acrobikes, B strings. That's turbo buzz. You want to talk about turbo buzz? 4 Acrobikes, 4 B strings, 4 order pads. It's time. It is time.
Okay.
I'm gonna show up to locals one of these days when they just see their faces drop like there's no tomorrow.
Straight up.
Do we want to throw Steven's decision with the last post or this post?
Say again?
Do we want to throw Steven's decision
Oh,
with
we'll
this
talk about
post?
it. We'll talk about it here since it's here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like what other decks really appreciate Acrobike. I mean, all decks appreciate a little bit more consistency. Definitely see this being played in Malamar because just discarding your psychic energies is pretty decent if you can draw into them. Can definitely see a high count of these because they already play a crap ton of items anyways. They don't care if they add a couple more.
Gerbo will use that pretty good.
Yeah, if you're playing against Trash Avalanche, just hopefully you can set up a Dawn Wings before you play a million items and you just go from there.
I think the problem with these post-rotation, everybody's wanting to play too many items, so Trash Avalanche.
I 100% agree that Trash Avalanche is going to be super duper strong. But like it's more of an inevitability that we're just going to have to play around. Because either you play or more items and make yourself weaker to Trash Avalanche, or you play less items and make yourself inconsistent, which makes you weaker to everything.
True.
So,
fair enough.
Yeah.
So we just got to deal with it. Honestly, a good player will be able to play around Trash Avalanche early game if they can, and just make some intelligent risk late game. But Acrobike being played in anything that plays B strings, anything that wants to discard cards like energies and whatnot. But I honestly don't think, I don't know, maybe we'll find better space, maybe we'll find deck space for it, but Acrobike I don't see being played as much as like other search cards. But we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
But dude, Sun and Moon on is a meme. Yeah, you're right. Sun and Moon on does feel like a meme. First of all, Steven is back, and look, he finally has a card that's not garbage. Isn't that exciting?
Well, he had a good card in like EX Hidden Legends.
Did he? I wasn't playing that.
Yeah, it was like Steven's advice. I think it was like draw for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon if you have less than 7 cards in hand.
Can you talk about Rayquaza DECL ideas? I don't know what that means. But if you're talking about the new Rayquaza, we'll probably talk to it when we get there. Yeah, all I remember is that the first full art train I ever pulled was that old Steven from, I want to say Roaring Skies.
I think wasn't it like AOR? I think was the full art.
Yeah, something like that. All I know is I was really excited about playing Steven, and then I became a good player and realized how bad Steven was. And I was very upset because it was my first full art trainer. But we have a good Steven, which is really exciting. Search your deck for any 3 cards and put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck. Your turn ends. Obviously, that comes with risk, but there's so many times in a game where maybe you just don't want to attack because it doesn't really get you anywhere to attack that turn, and it's just nice to search. I can definitely see this being played heavily, especially in this new format where we don't have Sycamores anymore. I really like this card a lot. What do you guys think?
Throw it in Swampert.
Straight up, get your rare candy. Get your
order pad.
You know what's crazy about Swampert, right? You can play your order pads, you can play Stevens, you can play Mallow, you can play it all, bro. Swampert wants everything. But no, straight up, Steven's decision it's like, I don't know, it seems really interesting to me. It's almost like you're playing a Bridget, but instead of getting Pokemon, you're like setting up your Pokemon. I can see lots of Stage 2 decks, practically every Stage 2 deck playing this card in very heavy counts. Guardy is going to definitely love this. What else is relevant? Guardian's really the only stage 2 that comes to mind.
Como.
Oh, it's straight up. You're right.
Real
I can even see like some tricky plays with Buzzwole letting themselves be knocked out by playing Steven's decisions end their turn to get 3 B-strings in their hand. Like I can see some tricky plays like that happening. I already play that way whenever I play Metal Nagas, and I just let my Pokemon get knocked out just so I can play all my B-strings at once. So I could see a lot of tricky plays. What do you guys think? Any decks in particular that comes to mind when thinking about Steven?
Not a whole lot that you haven't listed.
Yeah. Oh, Bulu loves it. I'm seeing Bulu. People are saying that Buzzwole and Zoro stay strong post rotation, but everything else kind of meh. I kind of disagree about the Zoro thing, mainly because we're losing all the good cards that made Zoroark good.
We're losing Puzzle.
Yeah, pretty much. But we can talk about that. We'll talk about that during a future streams. Yeah, Steven's just a good card. Every deck is going to play 1 or 2, maybe even a heavy count. It all depends on the deck, but I can definitely see people trying their best to make room for Steven. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next couple of cards.
Blaziken, Altaria, Latios Prism.
Is that what's next? Yeah. I see this Metacham, bro. I actually kind of want to talk about this Metacham.
Metacham.
I really like this Metacham. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was 1 energy attacks. But Metacham, 90 HP. Is it weak to Psychic? Oh, it is weak to Psychic.
Yeah. 1 retreat, not even free.
I just like the idea of like playing Buzzwole and they can never jet punch you safely. On the bench, that is, because if they put you at that 30 HP number, you're just gonna smack them for like 100 million damage.
Yeah.
And then spinning kick is really cool as well. Like, I just like the fact that you hit for 90 damage for 2 energies. That's really strong. I just want to know if I just want to see if I can build something with Metacham that can make it consistent. Because I really want to try it. Like 90 HP, 90 damage, that pairs so well. Like I'm talking like before post rotation, we got ourselves our strong energies. We got Diancie. It's on. It's on. I really want to try this out. But that's just me. That's just me fanning out about Metacham. We can talk about the other cards now. All right, Blaziken. Blaziken. Have we ever had a good Blaziken card?
I think there was a deck at like 2005 or so.
Ooh, that era. I think I actually know what you're talking about too.
Yeah.
All right, so Blaziken is cool. First of all, it's got 240 HP. That's definitely something worth talking about. We haven't had a good card, like a tournament winning card that had more than 230 HP since Decidueye, I want to say.
Yeah.
So that number is pretty big, especially since you'll be discarding your own energies from attacking. So playing cards like Max Potion definitely isn't even an issue. To talk about Blaziken GX, we have it here, 240 HP, hitting for 60 with a DCE. Its attack does 210, but you have to discard 2 fire energies, which isn't a big deal, which we'll talk about in a second. And we got Blaze out, discard 2 energies from your opponent's Pokemon. It's horrible. It's very underwhelming for the work it is. But obviously they have to make these cards underwhelming because we have Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh's GX attack that lets you just bring up any Pokemon GX or EX from your discard pile. Means that we can't just straight up have these really, really strong fire type Pokemon anymore. It's just annoying that they make the GX weak, because if you're using Ho-Oh's GX, what's the point of making the GX attack on the other Pokemon weak? But whatever. That aside.
Yeah.
Blaziken, I like a lot. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the other Blaziken from Champions Road here, which is why the card is semi-decent. We have this one from Champions Road, 150 HP Pokemon with the ability Fire Starter, which means you can attach a Fire Energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. It's just Malamar, but for Fire type energy, and it just pairs really well since you discard 2, you just reattach and boom bam, get yourself a 2/2 line of this thing, and you should be pretty good. What do you guys think of Blaziken? I actually have some high hopes for this card now.
First attack is awful.
I mean, 16 is never that bad, right? You knock out Zoroark with it.
True.
You do straight up just play that Steven's card, and then you just set up a couple Blaziken, and then you just kind of like what? It's a one energy retreat cost too, so you can just kind of switch between the two. You attack, you set up the one on the bench, you switch, you attack, you set up the one on the bench, yada yada. So I can see some definite. It feels like, to me, the card feels a lot like Metagross.
Yeah.
But with way more potential.
Yeah.
What else? What do you guys think?
The second attack just looks like Turtonator.
Yeah. But hey, hitting for 240, that Oko's Guardies.
Yeah, yeah.
And you lose energies too, so Guardy's going to have a really hard time Okoing you in return. And hitting, like, what does 240 not hit? Because you Oko Metagross because of weakness.
Wailord.
You're right. You're right. Or that new Wishy-Washy with all the baby Wishy-Washies on it, bro. You just that deck just destroys you. The counter.
Thicky-washy.
Thicky-washy. Oh boy, what do you guys think? What do you think, Corey?
Sorry, my Discord keeps cutting in and out.
That's fine, bro.
You're talking about Blaziken, right? Baby Blaziken. I like it. Like, I'm just not sure where it's gonna fit in. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's like, to me, I have to like train myself to not count out decks like this, only because I initially counted out Gardevoir because I didn't think Gardevoir was going to be as good just because it was a stage 2. But since this kind of has a very similar effect, it's a little bit more difficult to set up because you have to have all 4 Blazikens out, which means you never have to have anything prized, which is always an issue. But if you ideally have 2 baby Blazikens, 2 attacking Blazikens, 1 in the active, 1 set up ready to go, this is pretty good for you. And you still have access to cards like Kiawe, and you can just start the beginning of and you have a 70 HP Torchic, which is just huge because Torchic, 70 HP, it's so necessary for a lot of these cards. Ooh, who's scratching my mic?
Blaziken GX deck is the idea that you can. It's if they didn't evolve from the same basic Pokemon, I think it would be a great idea.
That's true. I do 100% agree with that.
You're very limited as to what you can do with it because of the fact that you got to start with the same guy.
Yeah, I can definitely see. I just have hopes for this card. I want Blaziken to be a good card. I've never been the biggest Blaziken fan ever, but like Blaziken's a fan favorite Pokemon, right? They got to do something good. I'm just personally sick of bad fire types.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
same.
You can play this with Turtonator. You can just tech this with other fire type Pokemon, and you still have access to Kiawe as well. So I hopefully this card ends up really good. And like I said, you do have Ho-Oh's GX attack. So honestly, it's the idea of not setting up a bunch of Blazikens on the bench became a lot easier because all you have to do is set up the 2 baby Blazikens, and now you can just GX to get these other Blazikens on the bench with his GX attack. So maybe it's not as hard as we think it's going to be, but setting up the Ho-Oh and getting a not return KO, we'll just have to see what happens. But I can definitely see a lot of good things coming out of this deck just because we have access to Ho-Oh's GX attack. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm forgetting.
Super boost energy for Blaziken.
Dude, that's actually straight up true too, because you are gonna have a bunch of Blazikens out. So Super Boost, man. Time to give me a couple million copies, sell them when they get high. I'm really excited about it. It's been a long time since I liked the idea of a fire type deck. For those of you that are OG subscribers, you know my incredible disdain for Volcanion. But Blaziken, straight up, I'm excited about it. Altaria, another card I'm kind of excited about too, only because we have that reprint of the other Altaria with Fight Song, I think. I think is it in this set? Let me double check. Champions Road.
Yeah, it's in Champion Road.
All right, all right, cool. Let me find it. Dude, I love Dragon types. I'm very happy we're not getting double Dragon Energy because I don't think Dragon types need that much of a boost. But I'm fairly excited. Is it in this set? I'm not seeing it, bro.
With the new trainer, it's to throw a double Dragon Energy reprint, and it would just be to make Dragon types just to you don't hit anything for weakness, but it's still too much for, you know what I mean. Yeah.
You guys can look up the Fight Song Altaria. I can't find it right now. It's not on Champions Road. It's somewhere. it exists.
It just increases damage by 20.
Yeah, so it's a 20 damage increase. Combine that with Bright Tone. Obviously, you have this Sonic Edge attack that you need a water energy for. Most decks aren't probably going to play that. You can just stick with the fairy type attack idea, and it's just overall pretty strong, hitting for 50, and then you're immune to the attacks of GX and EX Pokemon. That's like really, really good. You're hitting, it's like there's a lot of these dragons, man. They just like love their locking abilities. We have Noivern with item lock. This is just immune from damage, and they're all 2 energies, and they're all awkward to set up. But if you can set them up, this is really good because it's a stage 1. A 200 HP is very, very good. Definitely easy to like play some max potion shenanigans while you set up different Altarias in the back, and hitting for what, like, say 40 damage boost, and then Choice Band hitting for 120 with Choice Band and like 2 other Altarias on your bench. That's 2-hit KOing pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So, and we have this Latios Prism Star as well, which is a great attacker in these like evolution dragon type decks as well. Euphoria GX, it puts your opponent's active Pokemon to sleep and heals all damage. I mean, it's better than Tapu Cure.
Yeah.
So that's something. And healing is definitely something you are going to want to do when you're playing this deck. So, what do you guys think?
Played and expanded.
Ooh. I mean, I can see that. You don't think there's going to be... Well, I don't know, man. You know what's something I do want to try and... Oh, no, we'll talk about that in different video. But well, what makes you think the expanded idea?
DDE.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm dumb. I just like how consistent it is with Mysterious Treasure. Every time I see Dragon types, I'm just like, yes, it's consistent now. Come at me, rotation. I got Mystery Treasure. It's time. What else? Is there anything else to really mention?
Lycia, maybe?
Say again?
Lycia.
Oh, Lycia? What's that card?
Yeah.
Search for two things. Yeah, okay. I was talking about Altaria in particular.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think there's anything to talk about. Do you have any comments, Corey? All right, we'll move on then. Is he there? No, he's gone, bro. Straight up. All right. Oh, Corey will hopefully be back soon. But we have Latios Prism Star here, which is 50 damage times the amount of Dragon type evolution Pokemon you have in play. So it doesn't count for itself, but hitting for like what 150, 100, 200 damage with a 1 prize attacker is definitely not bad. DC attack. There's not too much to talk about here. 140 HP is good. 1 retreat cost is good. The artwork is a little bit weird. I'm not really a big fan of it. But, it's overall, it's a decent card. Not too much to talk about there. But Lycia, search your deck for any 2 Prism cards, reveal them, put them into your hand. This just screams, like, play it for those energies. I hope we'll get, like, decks that can, like, abuse Prism Star cards. Like, maybe we'll get more effects where, like, you can abuse Prism Star cards. Like, you can do so much damage for the amount of Prism cards you have in the Lost Zone kind of thing. So I can have this card see a little bit more play. I don't really see this card seeing any play right now. We have to see what that Prism card Stadium does, because maybe it's worth it then. And I don't think you play this in Buzzwole or any deck that wants the Beast energy over anything like Steven or just like drawing in general. What do you think?
Yeah. Sorry. I don't really like the card personally. It's not really anything that we don't already have. I mean, like you said, unless if excuse me, sir. Unless we get some kind of thing that we don't have the ability to pull out already, or something that would give us that draw power after that, I don't see it getting much use.
Maybe I can see this in Buzzwole decks that don't play Brooklet Hill, because then they can get like Beast Energy and Diancie at the same time. Something you can definitely toy around with.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, Liquid Drop
I'd
as well.
still rather play Brooklet Hill just for the fact that you're not using your supporter for the turn that way.
Yeah, that's true as well. I don't know. We're gonna have to see, because like there's gonna be a lot of I feel like there's gonna be a lot of search turns in this upcoming format. But we can talk about that another day. Now, Sceptile, I know that you really like this card, Corey. Sceptile, 140 HP, Stage 2, Grass-type Pokemon with a 1 retreat cost, with a 1 energy attack. Powerful Storm does 20 damage, times 20 more damage for each... No, 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to your Pokemon in play. So it's a little bit weird, but... Nature Power is definitely a cool attack. Each of your Pokemon with Grass energies attached receive no damage from the attacks of your opponent's Ultra Beast, which... The way the meta is shaping, besides I think Zoroark might still be a main deck, but Ultra Necrozma and Duskmane and Buzzwole are all looking pretty strong. So having a Pokemon that can turn off, yeah, it's looking like it could be good. But we'll have to see, because obviously they're gonna start playing cards that aren't Ultra Beast that can attack. But we'll just have to see. I mean, obviously Malamar is gonna have less of an issue. They can just throw in some random techs that use Psychic Energies. And then they can just hopefully knock you out. Like Lunala Prism kind of takes a revenge knockout if you start loading up energies for your powerful storm attack. But of course, that's just a Prism card that's gone after you attack it.
Yeah.
So, and Duskmane probably has a harder time. Maybe they can attack with Registeel, but I don't know. Duskmane's not even super viable without Max Elixirs and Garbodor as a straight deck. And Naga plays almost exclusively Ultra Beast, so I don't see what they're going to do besides attack you with Lele. But Sceptile I can definitely see Sceptile like as a random rogue deck that does really well at a tournament just because of its ability.
Yeah, see, my favorite thing is going to be the that Sceptile with the new stadium, so that sorry.
No problem,
My allergies are going.
What stadium? What stadium? I don't remember.
It's basically where none of your forget the exact wording on it, but it's something along the lines of preventing damage from your
Skyfield? Or not Skyfield, Skypillar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll talk about that card. I think it's in the list. Unfortunately, Liquid had to go sign off, but thank you, Liquid, for joining us tonight. We're going to go ahead and actually move on to the Latias Prism section with Celesteela and Kartana and all of them. And yeah, we'll talk about that. So this is just the other Sceptile artwork, something new there, but we do have Celesteela and Kartana, as well as Stakataka and Rayquaza, and there's quite a few cards here. I think this will be the last cards that we really talk about today. So thank you guys for hanging out. Definitely forget to drop a like on the video if you haven't already, YouTube peeps. But let's talk about Celesteela here. I'm actually really excited about Celesteela, especially in like Metal Beast Box is looking more and more fun by the second. Moonraker does 160 damage, but if the total of both players' remaining prize cards is 6, the attack cost is a single metal energy. That is huge. Being able to hit 190 for 1 energy at some point of the game with a 1 prize attacker is so strong. So I definitely cannot wait to use this card. There's not really too much to talk about otherwise because it's a 5 energy attack, so you're most likely not using it at any other point of the game. But it's easy to just like use your Ultra Space, slap it down, slap a metal energy on it, retreat into the Celesteela, and just take a knockout. It's a nice. It's such a nice card.
And the thing is too is if the 190 doesn't do enough damage, you can always you got the Beast energy, but then you can always slap on a Choice Band too and get.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 190 counts a Choice Band, but with Beast energy, you are right. That is what 220 damage.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. That's a lot of damage. So, yeah, Celesteela.
Beast energy would count as your metal energy too. Then
yeah, Celesteela's looking kind of cool. I cannot wait to play with like more metal Naga whenever that happens.
I think Celesteela is going to be a pre-release promo.
Ooh, that'd be cool. You know, that kind of makes sense because they made all these other Ultra Beast pre-release promos, all these baby Ultra Beasts, so I can see that. Another card we have that's kind of interesting is Kartana. It does 40 damage plus 90 more damage if your opponent has 6 prize cards remaining. So it's a very strong turn 1 attack, hitting for 130 for 2 energies. It's like 160 with Choice Band, 190 with the Beast energy. So, but it's only a 60 HP attacker. So I don't know how I feel about this card. I don't think I would find myself playing it. But maybe if there's like more relevant 130 HP Pokemon early in the game, I could definitely see myself tagging in a Kartana. But 60 HP is just so low. What do you think?
Yeah, unless if you're running a deck where you're already running something like, well, for the time being, Fighting Fury Belt, or in further out future, something like bodybuilding dumbbells, I don't see it.
Yeah,
Maybe as
Dumbbell doesn't work, but I could see Pan working. But even Pan, like you just have to hit them for like 90 damage. It's not that interesting.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I don't see it being used much more than as a one of, and maybe something like a Sylvale Metals deck.
Well, I could see that. But you also have to keep in mind that this has to be early game. You can't take a knockout until you knock out with Kartana. So that's the only thing that kind of bothers me about it. Like, it's not that much damage, and it's still a 2 energy attack. It works if you go first. You just double attach, and hopefully your Lele, they don't like play a DC on Lele to knock you out. But 60 HP is just so low. So I don't know if I'll play it. We'll just have to see once the meta kind of turns and we can see what people are playing in their decks. Because it is a good tech. If because imagine this card existing if we had Volcanion, like baby Volcanion in the format still. This can just straight up Oko it if you put it down turn 1 but don't let it get attacked, and then you attach 2 energies to it so that next time you attack it, you just take a straight up Oko on baby Volcanion. That's something. We'll see if there's anything else relevant like that, but until then, I definitely don't see myself playing Kartana. And speaking of cards, I'm probably not going to be playing heavily in like Beast Box. We have Stack Attacka here. Now, Stack Attacka, everyone was really excited about it, but the second we saw this measly 180 HP, everyone got a little bit upset. How is this gargantuan brick wall not 200 HP? Especially since they made Celesteela 200 HP, and they made Guzzler 210. You think they can give them a little bit more HP, but Stack Attack is interesting. 100 HP, metal type Pokemon with 3 retreat with a fire type weakness, because it is metal, of course. I don't know why I said that so excitedly. Its ability is Ultra Wall. Any damage done to your Ultra Beast by an opponent's attack is reduced by 10, and yes, it does Stack Attack. So you can play like a bunch of Stack Attack, which is another deck idea. Just to have like a Stack Attack, a stall deck where all these Stack Attackers have 220 HP, and then you combine that with Frying Pan, and then they have to hit you for 250 to take an Oko, and then you just kind of play max potions. I can see that being a thing for Worlds format, since you have all these disruption cards like Team Rocket's Handiwork, like Flare Grunt, things like that. That could definitely be interesting. Its attack, Gigaton Stamp for 120, pretty vanilla, not super interesting. Assembly GX does 50 damage, and attack does 50 more damage for each prize card you have taken. It's another one of those cards that like rewards you for doing well in the game, so that's a pretty decent GX attack. Although in Metal, you're most likely going to be using Duskmane's GX attack from experience. That's usually a GX attack you just use, and then you blow them up the following turn. I mean, I don't really know how I like this card. We'll have to play around to see if its abilities really does affect numbers in this post rotation. If you're playing things like Naga, I definitely don't see you playing this in Buzzwole. But once again, we just have to see numbers, because if that like extra 10 HP, maybe extra 20 HP is the difference between an Oko and not an Oko, it could be worth playing. What do you think?
Yeah. Another card, like maybe.
Oh, you're like gone. Come back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you just like a lot softer, but it's all good. I can turn you up. Go for it.
I think it's like you said. If it was a thing of higher HP or maybe a little more of a reduction of damage, I think it would be seen a lot more play. But just as it stands, I don't think it does enough of a difference. Just a lot of things are going to be getting a one-hit knockout on it or a 2-hit knockout on it, and it's like, is it worth it to get that?
Yeah, that's just like the main issue, right? Like, is it worth playing? Because it's a bench space. It does help in Naga Natal, I guess, because like you could theoretically be attacking. That's something, right? You could theoretically be attacking with a 250 HP Naganadel for 1 energy and hitting for like 100, 120 every turn. That's something you could theoretically do, and then you can play like a cool Max Potion build from there. Hey, Yellow Swell's here. Wait, did my boy just drop 100 bits? What's up, bro? Thank you so much, dude. Oh, let me see if I can pull that up because this actually hasn't been open.
Wait, who is it?
That's Dennis. That's the boy.
Oh, Yellow Swell.
That's the boy. What's up, Dennis? Thank you for the support, my dude. But yeah, I could definitely see Tryhard. 118 bits by Dennis. Thank you so much, man. Let's pull that up on the screen. Look at that. But yeah, I can see some stack attack on Naga where you literally are just playing like Beast Energy, Psychic Energy, and or you can play really any type of energy, but you just have a 250 HP Naganadel that you can just attack with and Max Potion every turn, and go from there. Have like an offensive, like bulky build. We are post rotation losing the likes of Mew EX. We're losing Mewtwo, although Mewtwo's not as big of an issue. Although we are having psychic attackers like whatever it's called, Dawnwings, with Mewmore in the format. So there's also that issue. So it's not looking super good, but it is a deck option. And like, I mean, Stack Attack is a cool Pokemon. It's such a cool Pokemon. I know you like those tryhards, absolutely. That's for me all the time. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about Stack Attack. I can't wait to give it a try with just a bunch of different things and see what sticks. And hopefully something will stick. Maybe we can play like some wonky Kartana build with 210 HP Kartanas that we keep shuffling back in the deck. That could be fun. But that's Stack Attack. Let's talk about Latias. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm not the biggest Gen 3 fan, but Latias and Latios are literally some of my top 5 favorite Pokemon. So I'm very happy to see that they both have Prisms. Now, Dream Miss is a very cool attack. 30 damage, attach a basic energy card from your disco pile to each of your benched dragon Pokemon. That's kind of amazing. This is definitely like an instant addition to just most dragon type decks. 1 retreat, 30 damage poke, and 130 HP. Like, it's just, I don't see any downsides to this card if you're playing in a dragon type deck. There's a lot of dragon type decks that are just kind of like have some deck space issues. Like people that are going to try to play Dragon Altaria, it's kind of rough there. But what did we just talk about earlier? Altaria, I can maybe see it being played on Altaria if you're a little bit on the back foot, combined with like Latios. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think, Ori?
Sorry, I'm pulling up the card.
You don't like Gen 3? Can I give my bits back? Look, man, I don't hate Gen 3. It's just not my favorite. Gen 4 is like me all the way. But anyways, we're discussing that in a different stream. What were you saying, Corey? Oh, Corey cut out? Or I guess Corey cut out. Alright, so that's Latios. Latios is just strong. It's nice to see these prism cards getting better and better. Alright, what were you saying, Corey?
Sorry about that.
No problem.
One of my biggest thoughts, and you'll get a laugh because you know me, is especially it's the Latias her
the ability one
accelerates energy, right?
Yes, Latias does.
Throw that in a Loot Chomp deck.
And a Loot Chomp. Let's not do this.
No, I know it would be.
It's
horrible.
definitely not like the worst idea. Okay. It's definitely not the worst idea, but I don't see like Luke Chomp getting much better. As much as I'm an advocate for the deck.
The retreat cost and weakness on it? I'm still trying to find it.
It's weak to fairy and it's a 1 retreat.
Okay.
So the card's not bad by any means.
Biggest strength I see is the fact that it only has 1 retreat cost.
Which is good.
Yeah, so with a lot of dragon types that are going to be heavy on the energy or attack cost, I see it being used.
You know me, man. I just love all the dragon love. I'm just super excited about it. Speaking of dragon love, we got Rayquaza Gx here. I have a couple opinions on this card. 100 HP dragon type Pokemon with the attack or the ability Storm and Stress. When you play this Pokemon from your hand into your bench during your turn, you may discard the top 3 cards of your deck, then attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon. So they don't actually have to be the energy you discard from Rayquaza. They can be just any. They can just be that one basic energy that's already in your discard pile. So you're thinning your deck a little bit. You're discarding cards. It's not always the best, but you get to accelerate your energy. So it's an option. You don't have to do it, so that's the good thing about cards like this, is that you don't actually have to do it. Its attack is Dragon Break, 30 damage. The attack does 30 damage times the number of basic grass and lightning energy attached to your Pokemon in play. So it doesn't have to be the active Rayquaza, it can be all your Pokemon. It has its perks. In order to hit 180, you need 6 energies on the board. So you're going to have 3 on the Rayquaza, when you're going to have probably 3 more on another Rayquaza, or maybe just like another Pokemon in general. It does pair with the Latios, which is something, because you can't accelerate to those dragon types. And Tempest GX, discard your hand and draw 10 cards. Now, I like the GX attack a lot, especially since post-rotation, we're going to need some different draw support cards. If you can play an early Tempest GX, that means for the rest of your game, you have Hala as a draw supporter. And that's never bad. Hala is a very, very good draw supporter, especially when you can draw 7. So Rayquaza GX does have the added effect of being able to abuse Hala for the rest of the game. So I do like that about Rayquaza, but I don't know if I like Rayquaza any more than I like Vikabulu. That's my issue. What do you think? Yeah, I keep this Discord open. Let me know what you guys think, but like, you need like double the energy on the board to hit 180, while Bulu just needs to discard 2 or is it 2 or 3, something like that, to hit 180 as well. So it's a little bit tough, and Vikavolt seems like the obvious partner for Rayquaza. You could play like a toolboxy deck and just play like a bunch. I've heard a lot of people tell me they want to play like a toolboxy deck where they play things like Pheromosa or like Tapu Koko or any other lightning or grass type attackers they can find. But in my head, it just seems like a weaker Vikabulu.
Here's my thing is, with the Tempest GX, you could just throw it as a one-up in a Vikabulu deck too, and just use its GX attack, like scoop it up somehow or get rid of it.
I do agree with that. But the question is this better than Drampa, for instance? You do have the added effect of being able to discard, so I feel like discarding and draw 10 is usually better than shuffle draw 10, but it's really circumstantial based on what's in your hand. And if you're playing Vikavolt, then you probably are not going to want to discard, because you're probably going to lose a lot of rare candies in the end. But like having a following turn with 10 cards in your hand is pretty strong for a Vikavolt kind of deck.
Yeah. The biggest thing too is the idea though that, especially if you can get your hand down to either 1 card or no cards, it would be huge in that deck.
But yeah, I literally only see this being played for the GX attack, but it's kind of rough because people are like, I hear people say this all the time, like maybe they play a couple copies in a Vikabulu deck, but I don't see the reason why you would do that. Because you're just going to accelerate the energies to Bulu to attack, since it's easier to attack with Bulu. So it's not really there as a main attacker. Storm and Stress does thin out your deck, so maybe you use the ability after you set up your Vikavolt, and then you Tempest. I can see it being used for Tempest, but Bulu's GX is so strong because people forget that Bulu doesn't have a weakness. So if you're not actually hitting that 180 number, you're not taking a knockout. Bulu can just GX you, and usually hits for 180 if it combines with a Choice Band. So I don't really have high hopes for Rayquaza, but I can definitely see decks that play grass energies, like not Bulu decks, but just any decks that play grass energies, maybe teching in a Rayquaza just so they can use the GX and then use Hala the rest of the game. I can see a lot of decks playing Drampa for that exact reason, and I can see a lot of decks playing Rayquaza for that reason as well. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, Sky Pillar, a new stadium. All bench Pokemon aren't affected by damage or effects from attacks of an opponent's Pokemon. So what I said earlier about the Bayonet thing, it doesn't count for the Sky Pillar, because Sky Pillar just straight up removes the effects of attacks, which means really the only Pokemon that can damage things on the bench is Decidueye and Greninja line, since their abilities and not effects of attacks. So that's interesting. I don't know, how many decks do you feel like are gonna play Sky Pillar?
It doesn't remove the damage from the attack, right?
No, it doesn't. It just means that they can't damage them.
Okay, so
to me, it's interesting because without Garbodor in the format, I can see a lot less, and like I mean a lot less Field Blower being played, because with the loss of Trashalanche and the loss of Parallel City, there really isn't a reason to play Blower outside of removing things like the Stadium and Choice Band. So if there's less Blower in play, things like Sky Pillar will stick more often. Maybe it will help a lot with numbers, like maybe a Lapras deck will want to play this, but do they want to play this over Brooklet Hill? Like, it seems interesting to me. And I do want to mention, actually, real quick, because we were talking about Rayquaza. There is a benefit of playing Rayquaza over Drampa, and that is that Drampa's weak to fighting, and Rayquaza's weak to Fairy. So in a meta game where we expect Buzzwole to be still doing strong, still doing well, I can see an argument for playing this over Drampa. But of course, it depends on if you're playing Grass type energy. If you're not playing Grass type energy, you play Drampa because it's a colorless attack. Anyways, continue. What do you think about Sky Pillar? I don't really know how I feel about this card. I can't think of any reason. Like I can think of lots of reasons to play it, but I can't think of any decks I'm like, oh, I definitely want to play this deck and throw a Sky Pillar in there like immediately.
The thing I see it being used most in is if you're trying to specifically counter Buzzwole or Tapu Koko.
Maybe you play like a lot of oh, maybe Wishy Washy plays this. That with that new Wishy Washy support thing. If you guys don't know, there's a new Wishy Washy card, like a baby Wishy Washy. I think for each one you have on your board, it gives your Wishy Washy GX 20 more HP and 20 extra damage from their attacks. I think that's how that works. But they have 30 HP, right?
Which is insane, because Wishy Washy GX, if you can get it powered up, is totally broken.
Yeah, so if you play Sky Pillar, Buzzwole, Coco, all their attacks, they're not doing anything. Really, you're only super weak to things like Greninja and Decidueye, but you're already weak to Decidueye because of weakness. So I can totally see Sky Pillar. That's like the only deck I can think of right now that like kind of needs this card. Size Sky Pillar and Thicky Wishy, or Wishy Thicky. What was it? I forgot what Liquid called it. We're playing that every stream post rotation. All right, I'm down. We can do a warm up game with Thicky Wishy.
That's
is there any other cards? I'm trying to think. Maybe Malamar plays it. I mean, they're probably going to be playing the Altar of the Moon actually, so they have more momentum throughout the game. Now that we're losing Floatstone. But Sky Pillar is another thing. Maybe you can protect your fairly weak Malamars, since they're just 3 jet punches away from being knocked out. But you already like kind of win that matchup, so I don't think that's super necessary. I'm trying to think if there's like any other like really good decks right now. Because like straight up Espeon Garb does not become as good of an archetype as before. So Zoroark, does Zoroark care? I mean, once they evolve, they have 210 HP, so they don't care as much. Yeah, I can't think of many decks that are going to try to find space for this card outside of like Wishy Washy. I'm sorry, MTO, that you couldn't make it, dude. I'm super sorry about that, man. I did want to have you around, but we'll be doing more of these discussion streams in the future. I actually do have a lot of fun doing these kind of things. I like talking because I don't get to talk about this kind of stuff as often as I would like. I think that's everything, though. If you guys, let me know in the comments down below, guys. Maybe we can go over Champions Road, and I'm sure there's other cards that we haven't talked about that have been released. If you guys want more discussion videos like this, if you guys want a chance to join, this is actually open to all subscribers to me on Twitch. So if you're a subscriber on Twitch, you are more than welcome to join these discussion videos, because I will be doing these a lot more. I do actually enjoy doing these a lot, and there's a lot to talk about in Pokemon right now. We have Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. We have all these brand new cards. We have post rotation to talk about. We have deck building ideas to talk about. There is so much to talk about in Pokemon right now, so I definitely cannot wait to do more of these videos. So let me know, guys, in the comments down below what you guys want to see as far as like deck profiles, as far as discussion vids. What do you guys like? I appreciate all the support, all of the conversation down below. And I think that's it. Thank you, Corey, for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. It's been awesome.
Thank you, Liquid, for joining me earlier. He unfortunately had a huge headache and had to go to sleep. So hopefully you feel better, dude. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. See you guys next time. Peace.